I love survival games. Part of the main reason that I do is because I grew up playing them. An early introduction to the zombie genre through games like Black Ops and Left 4 Dead 2 led to an obsession with the survival crafting genre with games like Unturned, Minecraft, and even the early days of Ark and Subnautica. And it continues to be my most played genre today. The landscape today is much more saturated than it was back then, which is both a blessing and a curse. But there is still one game from my childhood that reigns supreme. 7 Days to Die, which you may have heard of given it just recently came out on consoles. It exited its beta and into 1.0 as a fully fleshed out, feature-rich survival crafting zombie game. But this isn't the 7 Days to Die that I grew up with. This is the pre-alpha release of 7 Days to Die on consoles. It came out in 2016. It was troubled, fought over, and ultimately neglected and forgotten. But I played the hell out of it. The game had such an addicting formula in the survival genre that thankfully was perfected with updates and beautifully re-released back onto consoles, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Right now, I'm talking about this version. This potato, washed up, 5 o'clock shadow, divorced dad looking ass survival game. Because this is the version that raised me to love the genre. So first, what even is this game? 7 Days to Die is a block-based zombie survival game. You heard me right, it's block-based. It may not look like it because it hides it very well, but everything you see is built on a grid, just like Minecraft. This not only gives it a ton more possibilities for building, but it also gives it some pretty satisfying destruction. Anyways, you explore, loot, level up, build your base, customize your gear, trade, build vehicles, complete quests, and battle baddies, all while withstanding the elements and maintaining your hunger and thirst. Here's the twist though. Every 7 days, a massive zombie horde is going to attack your base, so you need to spend most of your time preparing for that. Every 7-day cycle, the horde will get stronger, so you are always needing to make your gear and your base better and better to keep up with the hordes. I think this is genius and fixes a big problem with progression in survival games, which is where you hit a wall where you just go, what do I do now? There's always more that you can do and greater lengths that you can go to in order to stay alive and combat the hordes. It's amazing. Anyways, what's up with this old version? Well, here's the story. 7 Days to Die was created by the Fun Pimps, who began development on the game in 2012 on PC. Around 2015, they had tasked developer Iron Galaxy with porting the existing build on over to consoles, while the Fun Pimps continued to work on the PC version. They also gave the publishing rights to Telltale Games. Now, if you were around for gaming news in the late 2010s, then you know exactly where this is going. In 2018, Telltale Games flat out collapsed and the company filed for bankruptcy, basically stranding the console version of 7 Days to Die in its current pre-alpha version for almost a decade. So while the PC version of the game, which was still fully owned by the original developers, continued to receive regular updates and eventually became a beautiful finished product, the console version remained stagnant, floating face down in the water, unfinished. It's a very surreal thing to play. It has this unmistakable early 2000s game feeling, and the old graphics, rudimentary lighting, and this glitch where it would always be foggy makes playing this really eerie. It almost feels like a Silent Hill game at some points. It was really just a bunch of items and assets from the PC version ported over into a rough outline of a gameplay loop where nothing had quite been organized yet. Playing it today feels sort of, I don't know, hollow? Like it was developed from right to left, if that makes any sense. Who the fuck are you? Oh, and did I mention that this mug has split screen? And yes, that is the way that it chose to split the screen, and no, you cannot change it. But regardless, I still played this game a ton as a kid. This was an era where the market of good survival games wasn't very saturated, and without a PC, I didn't have access to the big ones that did exist. So I played this. And you know what? I loved it. I played the hell out of it. I mean, just look at this base that I had on One World. It was a reinforced concrete wall that surrounded an entire portion of downtown, and all of the buildings had been fully converted into survival, storage, and shelter.
Ah, yes, the luxurious toilet jail.
It even had a drawbridge that crossed a spike pit and a minefield outside of the wall for Horde Knights, which I had completely forgotten about until I stepped on one. I spent countless hours on this as a kid, because it was all that I could play. The game obviously pales in comparison to the survival games of today, and especially to its own full release, but as an introduction to the genre that was played out of necessity, it did its job, and it did it well, and for that, it will forever hold a special place in my games library. Anyways, the story doesn't end there. Eventually the Fun Pimps got their rights back and fully updated the console version for a re-release on next gen. And oh, it was a glorious day for people like me. They updated the graphics, they updated the gameplay loop, new weapons, new zombie types, new crafting stations and items, new vehicles, a helicopter, weapon modifications, armor types, lockpicking, traders, quests, a skill tree, biomes with biome-specific difficulties, new traps with turrets, robot drones, f***ing bears. Oh, and don't even get me started on the exploration overhaul. Not only is every location and building brand new, but they have designed every single one of them to play out like a puzzle. There's always a way in to every location and around every locked door that doesn't involve smashing through a wall. That's always an option, given that the entire environment is destructible, but it will always be easier and way more fun to take a look around and figure out the next piece of the puzzle in order to progress. Sometimes it's a key on a key rack, sometimes you have to jump out a window of one room and back in the window of another, sometimes you have to fall through the floor. Sometimes you have to find a button that will open a door on one side of the building that reveals a button that opens a door on the other side of the building that leads to a room full of goodies, all the while zombies are jumping out of closets and falling through the fucking ceiling. It's just so fun and such a great way of handling exploration. Every building in the game is designed like this, and there are hundreds of different types of buildings that can spawn. And oh, the secrets! There are secrets everywhere if you know where to look. Being a licensed loot goblin, this is a huge plus for me. If you can keep an eye out, you will find little tidbits of loot hidden behind fake walls and paintings and inside of air vents and nestled in hard to reach corners. It's the most rewarding looting experience I've ever had. Anyways, how many times have I said that? After 12 years of development, it is officially released in its 1.0 state as a complete and fully finished game, and I've never been happier. Easily one of the best zombie survival games on the market. It does everything from the base building to the looting, the progression, the crafting, the exploration. Oh, it just has everything you want in such an approachable package. And that's another thing I really love about it. It's a bit more of an arcadey style zombie game than the rest. Don't get me wrong, it still is a survival game. It still is a challenge to find supplies, stay alive, and fend off zombies. And you can still break bones and bleed out if you're not careful. It just doesn't take itself too seriously. It isn't trying to be some hyper-realistic DayZ clone. I mean, you still have floating exclamation marks for quest markers. The best food item in the game is a bowl of spaghetti, and you can carry a stack of 10 with you anywhere you go. It's just a sight for sore eyes in this genre that has been very closed-minded as to what a survival game should look like. Anyways, that's all. I just wanted to talk about one of my very favorite survival games for a little bit. Thanks for sticking around to listen. You can go now if you want, but the rest of this video is just going to be some funny moments that I had when I was playing with my friends.
Holy shit. Is that Kurt Cobain? Oh, fuck!
So, you can, you know, sit down, grab a drink, hang out for a little bit. It's up to you. Anyways, Garblery out.
If you go into the... Missed by a metric mile. What else?
Did you die too?
No, you went flying. From the shadows. Was that you who just landed on my roof? Like, I'm gonna fill the gas station with some accelerant. Holy shit! I shot the accelerant on accident. Oh, by the way, don't use those because these despawn after a short while. What I'm using is these barrels. because they don't despawn and they blow up very nicely. Just
What if you try to
be
get them
careful.
close
Be
to the
very.
house?
That's what I was talking about. You can't
so
place them on uneven surfaces, or they will go off. I should have said something. I didn't think about it until you started throwing them down, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna place one.
Oh my god, look at this place.
I said, be careful. It's gone. The whole house is gone. We didn't even finish putting anything down. The whole house is gone. Dynamite. In the hole. Blow up dynamite. When dynamite explodes. Holy shit. That blew up way bigger than I thought it would. Okay. Anyways, dynamite. Oh my god.
Imagine if we could blow up bags full of... Oops.
Throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it. Brother!
Dang, these zombies have
We
one.
should do this on Horde Night. This should be our Horde Night base, is down here. To see if they all come flying down here.
Wait, I have an idea. What if I use a helicopter to fly out of here? And I hover
Gonna
over
track them all?
Yes.
That might go kinda crazy.
But
But good luck with getting out of here in a helicopter. Alright, you got it. Throttle up hard. Wait, I can build you a ramp. Hold on, hold on. There we go. Try that.